Columbus Day in 2011, I made a posting on Facebook that basically said that it's not fair for children, both Indians and non-Indian children, to celebrate a day for a man who's supposed to have discovered a country, and these people cannot celebrate, their own existence of this country. And I got a call from the Southwest Jewish Congress saying, why don't we do something about it? Have you thought about approaching the Texas legislation and developing a bill? This was outside of my comfort zone. And so Larry and I talked about it, we prayed about it. Next day I said, well, let's give it a try. And that's how the American Indian Heritage Law became effective within a few years. And so as we started developing the wordings for the bill, I was able to get a group of younger and middle-aged individuals that were able to do this. And this is the first initial core group of the American Indian Heritage Day.
With American Indian Heritage Day in Texas, our goals are very simple, specific. You want to make sure that we're not overlooked, we're not an afterthought. You want to make sure that you don't hear about our culture and education from another point of view that's not American Indian. After a while, you start understanding that there's a passion that comes from within that is shared by numbers. Right now, with the right people, right tools, right technology, and the right moment, we're able to conquer a lot of the invisibilities, that perceptions that everybody else sees in us. We want to eliminate prejudice, stereotypes, and racism from our perspective. And the only way we're going to do that is through education.
Once I learned about what it was about, I was able to sign the petition, and also told my friends to, anyone I met that I knew that was Indian, or even non-Indian, to sign the bill. Because I know the importance of it, to get recognized as American Indians in Texas and also in America, but Texas being the first step, is that we have to gain that recognition, because people still think we live in teepees. They don't, or they think that we don't exist anymore, because we are in the urban areas. People think we're on reservations, but we do live here in Dallas. We're part of the, DISD employees. We're in the U.S. Postal Service. We're in the police department. Almost every aspect in Dallas, there's an American Indian that's there.
Indian Heritage Day of Texas happens every September, and we all get together at Lone Star Park. All the different tribes come in Texas, and they dance and they sing, and we learn a little history about our tribes and everything. And I'm very proud of this group, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
I was able to help be a part of the writing process for the bill that's now the American Indian Heritage Day in Texas law. I'm really proud to say that I was a part of that. I had the chance to be a part of the Parent Advisory Committee when I was in Dallas, and so I was always a little knowledgeable on things happening and how I could be involved, and how that helped me understand how being active as an American Indian is especially important, being that we're such a small group in pretty much every setting that you can think of.
We have another organization that's umbrellaed underneath American Indian Heritage Day in Texas called ICARE, which is Indian Citizens Against Racial Exploitation. And you hear it right now that it's very trending out in the social media. But you have to understand that in Dallas you can never have that verbiage where you talk about, well, let's go fight against mascots, because it's already been dismantled. You start to understand that this is forward thinking, and it's a part of how we treat both organizations.
All of the mascots were removed from 10 different schools within the Dallas Independent School District, and that's often overlooked. Like just the other weekend, I was at an event, at a rally, and somebody that's been active here for their entire life mentioned how they were telling somebody about if they hadn't noticed that DIC didn't have any of these mascots. And there was a whole conversation happening amongst these organizers and activists that they didn't know that had even happened here. So it's something that I'm very proud of that I was able to be a part of.
I'm an elder of the representing this American Indian Heritage Day program, and I'm also the chairman for the senior citizens of our church. Passing this law for this one day was important to us because we see other nationalities getting their free day, their recognition. And I think this was very important to our group at the church, and especially the pastor, Reverend Lester Timms, because he signed it as soon as we asked him. And it's something that we have that we can say, well, we have our own day now. It's not recognized maybe nationally, but we have our own day. And we helped the organizers of that, along with Peggy Larney, to get this passed, and we signed a petition. And it's very important.
If it gives something for us here in Texas to respect and look up to, we're helping educate, I think, or I feel like we're helping educate a few people at a time, and we're bringing the attention to other people to see what goes on in other cultures and things. It's like saying Indian. People don't know, are you talking about a Native American or are you talking about an Indian from India?
People are recognizing that we are here, that there's a lot of us here, that we can't be put on a reservation anymore. We can't sit back and not say how we feel.
In the Dallas ISD, we did, we have the Indian education program, but people still don't even know that there are Indian children in the schools sometimes. So I think having this day, I think that'll really help in educating the whole state.
Everybody thinks all the Indians are gone, and they're not really around. Sometimes they would talk to me and say that, are you Chinese? Or are you Japanese? Or are you from, where are you from? What country are you from? And they don't think we're even here. But I'm full-blooded Navajo.
We have a very active committee, always thinking of what can we do to improve the education, the awareness, and be advocate for our Indian people on various topics such as negative stereotypings or anything that needs to be addressed. And what I would love to see is more and more younger, middle-aged individual that has lived in Dallas that really hasn't had the opportunity, but now there is a vehicle. And it's good to see small fragments of organizations beginning to talk about developing into something of an entity here in the Dallas area, and this is coming from our younger generation, our younger leaders. So that has made me very proud to where I am, and hopefully I've been a little bit of instrumental person to some of the individuals that are doing this. So I think my greatest goal is for us to keep continuing, people to keep joining us, and people to splinter off to where they, in their own expertise, might be able to still fight the battle of whatever the need is of the American Indian nations.
With the House bill becoming a law, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And the people who do come in to play from year to year make a great impact. But at the same time, we're building leaders. And hopefully those leaders will define their roles and start to build new leaders that comes in under the umbrella system of the American Indian Heritage Day in Texas.